The FCC's poison pill waiver. Amazon just received a regulatory survival line that includes a hidden tax the market is currently ignoring. On June 5th, the FCC granted Amazon Leo a waiver for its July 30th deployment milestone. But the cost is a massive demotion in spectrum priority that lasts until 2028. While the headlines focus on the project staying alive, the real story is that Amazon now has to coordinate its signals around Starlink, effectively giving their chief competitor technical veto power over Kuiper's performance for the next 20 months. This isn't a victory. It's a high-stakes operational handicap for a network that is already 3 years behind schedule. Bypassing the Telco Tax. The move from Project Kuiper to the Amazon Leo brand signals a retreat from the consumer broadband market in favor of a much higher margin play, the vertical integration of the AWS supply chain. By connecting enterprise IoT devices and corporate endpoints directly to satellites, Amazon is attempting to eliminate the telco tax paid to terrestrial carriers like Verizon or Orange. Think of it as a private Layer 1 network for the cloud. If Amazon can route data from a remote mining sensor directly to an AWS Mumbai region without it ever touching a third-party fiber line, they aren't just selling connectivity, they are capturing the entire profit pool of the data's journey. This is a strategy designed to lock enterprise customers into a closed-loop ecosystem where Amazon owns the silicon, the server, and now the sky. The Blue Origin bottleneck, Amazon's biggest risk, isn't the technology, it's the launch manifest. The recent New Glenn testing explosion at Cape Canaveral has effectively orphaned the Kuiper production line, forcing Andy Jassy to buy even more launch capacity from his direct rival, SpaceX. Relying on Elon Musk to launch the very satellites meant to compete with Starlink is an expensive irony that is bleeding Amazon's capex dry while funding its competitors' R&D. The real implication. The transition of Project Kuiper into Amazon Leo is the final step in turning the global internet into a proprietary feature of the AWS console. By integrating direct-to-cell capabilities for enterprise partners like AT&T and Vodafone, Amazon is essentially creating a global virtual private cloud that functions independently of the public internet. This moves the competitive landscape away from who has the fastest consumer speeds and toward who controls the physical infrastructure of global data transit. For operators and investors, the indicator to watch isn't the number of satellites in the sky, but the rate of AWS private 5G integrations. If Amazon successfully migrates its massive logistics and warehouse sensor data onto its own Leo network, they will have achieved a level of vertical integration that makes the current cloud margins look like a rounding error. The real test comes in October 2027, the earliest date Amazon can prove they have the hardware ready to reclaim their spectrum priority and finally step out from under Starlink's shadow. Subscribe for more